There's the Jack Gibson Cup. Here's the Roosters. Best attack in the comp. They're scoring 30 points a game, but last 3 weeks, their defence, very questionable. 24 points, 30 points, and then 34 points. I think Sam Walker will like the wet with his subtle kicking game.
Well, it certainly adds a new element to it. Very, very rarely in the modern era do we see fields like this so waterlogged. It was something you saw in the old days when there was old-fashioned or virtually no drainage and fields got a lot of traffic. But these days, to see a modern-day field with so much water laying on the surface is quite incredible. Oh. I'd imagine it will soak in as the game goes on. There's not much other rain forecast.
So just that puddle, they actually had some super soppers out there trying to clear a part of that area so they could even kick the ball off.
I used to love playing in weather like this.
You slide further.
Well, it slowed everyone down to my taste.
Should have brought your boots. The Roosters with it. Allianz the venue, Friday night footy. They're headed for another finals campaign. Is there another title in the offing for the first time since 2019? Well, there you go. Carry one, mistake one.
Well, that's the other thing in the wet, isn't it? The ball control becomes more important.
In the middle.
You see Spencer Leniu. He just took his focus off holding the ball, wanted to play it fast. And the Eels, they'll get the early field position.
Well, it's a bit early for a challenge. First tackle of the game, so they're going to have to defend this one.
Oh, this is interesting. A scrum form right in the middle of a lake.
Move it this way.
I don't know if you'll be able to roll it through.
Stay in a bog. Sorry, mate.
Well, it's really unbelievable.
He's all right.
There's been a fair bit of traffic here. We had an NRLW doubleheader. I know we're going back a few weeks since the rugby was here, but the ground, it looked a little patchy. And it's now mud.
You can't move the scrum out of the mud. That's not football.
Well, do you take the two here, Gus?
Well, 2-0 in these conditions is a big lead, but the Eels are going to take the scrum again.
Oh.
Now, last time they lined up from the scrum, they had 4 to the right, 2 to the left, and they went to the left.
You got to stay.
This time they've lined up 4 to the right again, 2 to the left. And the Roosters have accommodated that by matching it in their defensive line.
They won't want to give a penalty away here, the Roosters.
"90 seconds gone. We've only had 3 tackles of footy. That's Talangi playing it. Para in possession. Just in line with that left-hand post. It's played by offhand Gowie. Hands to Ussie. And underneath the pass from Cartwright from Brown. And Cartwright gets within half a metre. It'll be a great start for the Outsiders if they could score in the first couple of minutes. They've had no issue scoring points in the last fortnight. Gutherson, there's an overlap, there's a try. Cumming is there, no! Great defence. Tungor tried to get down low and slide to the corner, but they pushed him over.
Yeah, that was the effective play, getting down low, using these slippery conditions to slide over the try line. But Dom Young, he gets enough contact on Tungor and just pushes him into the sideline.
Plenty of Rooster jerseys there, wasn't there? They had it covered. In these sort of conditions, the ball movement is slower. It does help the defence. Look at that slopping around in the wet. That's beautiful stuff. That's real footy stuff right there.
This is a throwback.
Well, they won't let the kids play in the councils and in the council parks anymore when it rains. Only chance you get to play in the wets in the NRL.
Let's not go there.
Councils keep calling the sport off every time you get a spit of rain.
Freddie, it's not quite as bad as Anzac Day 15 years ago, but that was a frightening storm before.
Not yet anyway. There's another storm cell sort of going past. We don't know if it's going to hit here or not. But it was 8.5 mil in 10 minutes. And I was talking to the groundsman and they said that's why the water's sitting on top of the moment. He just gave me that look of, I'm not sure what happened, Bradley. But anyway, looks great. That water bouncing up is going to turn to mud soon and look even better.
Oh, yes. Well, if you were one of the parents that had to wash the jerseys after the game, you wouldn't be enjoying it all that much. So Russell playing it beyond the 20. This Parramatta attack very congested there. They're playing one-out football, trying to get away from their own end. That's a A good run and play the ball from Vitamu Greg, and now Regan Campbell-Gillard. His 5-year tenure at Parramatta might be winding down. They're allowing him to explore his options at the end of this year. A left-footed kick from the halfback Dejan Arce. And Teddy accelerates as he gets to that defensive line. Lane around the legs, Talangi up top. Dom Young, winger to winger. Tupou tackled. Water splashing up everywhere. Won't worry, Tedesco. Away to Keary. The ball underneath for Crichton. Oh, he's left another defender in his wake. It's been the theme of his season. He's just been an absolute monster. The ball goes over to Manu. Manu v Talangi. That's a fascinating duel.
It's a real challenge for the young man, Blaze Talangi, up against one of the real strike centres in our game, Joey Manu.
You're in the ruck. Can't affect that pass and play breaks down now. You're in the way of the dummy half pass.
So an offside player didn't get out of the way and has interfered in the play. So a penalty to the Roosters coming as we see a bit more storm activity closing in on Allianz Stadium. There's a bit of lightning and thunder around again. Yeah, it was Talangi. Not much has phased him in his inaugural NRL campaign. The youngster, he's off to Penrith at the end of the year. I'm sure that would sting a lot of the Parramatta fans. There you go. Collins has lost it.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to come to terms with what they can and can't do in these conditions. Even the most simple of tasks, like just getting up to play the ball, becomes extremely difficult. You've got to really concentrate.
Let's go.
And the pace of the game will eventually start to measure up with the conditions. Everything is just slower, and you've got to wear that.
Heads down, straight away. Let's go, head in.
Looks like the water's rising rather than sinking. There's more water there than when we started.
What's it, tidal? It was dry an hour ago.
You're running into Collins. The other thing it does when it's wet, the tackles sound like there's more impact, don't they? The bodies slap together.
Well, like Gus mentioned before, there's less opportunity to use your footwork and your speed. Players can line the opposition up, really work on your contact.
Gutherson doing the forward work and offloading well to Brendan Hands. Across to Dejan Arce. He's going to roll it through. Oh, tunnel ball. Dom Young has.
Play the ball.
He's got a finger on it.
Play the ball.
And it's gone over the sideline. Oh, what? He missed it, did he? Surely.
Of course he touched it.
Yeah.
It's play the ball to Parramatta.
Parramatta play the ball, right.
Yeah. Well, they get a bit of fortune there, the Parramatta Eels. They want to spend some time down here. At the very least, end up with a repeat set. The dropouts will be hard tonight.
I'm wondering whether this water on the ground actually helps their defensive effort, because we know that's been the major Achilles heel for them, leaking 30 points a game throughout 2024. So it reduces the amount of football, if you will, that the Roosters get shot. And how good's that by Lindsay Collins? He makes a mistake up one end and then intervenes in the Parramatta attack and wins the ball back for his team. Well,
it shows you he's concentrating. He's got his eyes on the football. Even when he's not in the tackle, he's thinking about being in the game. He just gets a hand to the ball and then regathers it before it hits the ground.
Young with 15 tries this year, the most for the Roosters. Tedesco, space for Manu to work with. Down the right-hand touchline, he kicks over the top. Walker's pursuing the ball, lands in the water, and it's spraying everywhere. And Dylan Browsley slid onto Moore Park Road.
And loved it. They all loved that. A slide in the wet. Parramatta were out at Homebush during the week, having a go on the surfing over there in the wet. Bradley Fittler.
Well, I'm on the sideline when Dylan Brown turned around and Sam Walker was on top of him. He said, "Can we do that again?"
I know Parramatta went surfing this week as part of their recovery at that Homebush thing. That's not going to go 10 metres.
It's called urban surf.
Urban surf, yeah.
That's it.
So they knew what was coming. That's brilliant coaching, isn't it? Get them ready for the wet weather.
Didn't go real well the last time a player from a Western Sydney club went to urban surf. Didn't the lifesaver have to pull him out? Smith now. Keary for Leniu. Offhand Galway gets up. Water streaming off him everywhere. Now Watson. He'll be dangerous with his footwork in these conditions and his strength. That's an underrated part of his game. He's almost on top of the goal line. Brandon Smith, Spencer Leniu, slipping, sliding and scoring.
He's hard to handle, Spencer Leniu. He's all power and this close to the line. You've got to be really committed with your tackle. He just brushes away from an Eels defender. Spencer Leniu close to the line. Bryce Cartwright just slips straight over the top. Harvey Norman replay and holds the ball in the contact. That's the crucial thing, catching it under pressure. Bryce Cartwright, he goes straight over the top, and then Spencer, he slides over the line. Yui fan camp. Well, the Roosters are in full force here tonight at Allianz.
I think some of these players could do with goggles. They're practically underwater every time they slide. Bryce Cartwright here gives up what we call his inside shoulder. See how he fades to the outside. There's no power on your inside shoulder. That's why defenders like you to get to their outside shoulder. But that's an argument for another day.
Well, Spencer's nearly drowned, but he scored the first try and Walker converts. Third game in a row, Spencer Leniu has started up in the front row for the Roosters. He scored the first try. He's been an explosive bench player for the bulk of his career, so you can't imagine the first try scoring honours have fallen his way all that often. Collins. Tackled by Lane and Cartwright, the two back rowers, Watson. Linking passes together, and Radley, who's interestingly moved out to an edge spot towards the back part of this year. Another handling error in the bleak conditions.
Yeah, that's the third error from the Roosters in the play the ball. This time Victor Radley, again, just looking to play the ball a little bit too fast. Is that a message that's going to come down from the coach, Gus, or will they work that out themselves?
Well, they're representative class players, mate. They should be able to work it out for themselves. And as I say, footballers don't get to play in these conditions very often these days. They don't even play them as kids anymore. They won't let them on the fields. Back in the day, like we got a lot of winter football like this. Most of our winter football was like this because the fields just weren't good wet weather grounds. It's quite extraordinary what we're seeing here tonight, and these footballers have got to adjust. They just don't know how at the moment.
Good, strong defence there. Watson and Collins combining with the tackle on Cartwright. Now Brown takes on the defence. It's one of his real strengths as a player. He's ball running. Campbell Gillard. Oh, dummies, and got rattled around the ribs by Angus Crichton. He's played with extraordinary physicality right throughout the campaign for club and state. Whittamoo Greg. Brendan Hands, Dejan Arce rolling it. Oh, Tedesco. Sharp as a tack. Oh, no, he did lose it. I think he got the first one cleanly. It might have been the second one.
Well, he may have lost it, but he saved the try.
He certainly did. He didn't let it get into the in goal.
The Roosters are all calling for a challenge that he's kicked him.
Oh.
And you see Clint Gutherson, he's come through. As Tedesco's bobbled the ball, he's looked to throw the boot out.
No.
He's striking him in the head with his foot. You get 10 to a shoulder in the head.
Well, Gutherson's got to apologise, so at least the skippers have sorted it all out by themselves.
No, he's a wonderful player, James Tedesco. He's been heavily involved in the opening 13 and a half minutes of this game. Already created a line break for Dom Young down the touchline. Not only does he clean the ball up there, he earns his team a penalty and gets him out of trouble.
And Radley half through a little hole. Talangi eventually made the tackle. Now Collins into Campbell-Gillard. Watson now for Leniu. Interesting inclusion on the Parramatta bench tonight, Gus. Micah Sivo's on the bench, and when he was warming up, he wasn't warming up with the backs. He was warming up with the big fellas.
Well, he is a big fella. He might be in for a positional change, do you think?
Sivo into the forwards, maybe.
Time off.
Well, they know he can cover the outside backs. It's Connor Watson waiting for an inquiry from the bunker.
Well, Brandon Smith didn't like something in the tackle.
Oh, that's a shoulder flush to the jaw.
Yeah, you can see why. Well, Whittamoo Greg, he's come in with a lot of force. He might find himself in a little bit of trouble here, Greg. You see Brandon Smith, he didn't like it at all.
Report, you're in the bin.
Well, that's just made things a whole lot harder for his team. The Parramatta Eels, not only are they down on the scoreboard 6-0, the Roosters are going on the attack up against the 12-man line. And Sam Walker hasn't had a whole lot of ball down this end of the field just yet, but I just get the feeling that instinctively he'll be looking to kick the ball. There'll be some space in behind. I'd expect Clint Gutherson to be up in the line the majority of the time. And if Sam Walker sees space, he'll get the ball there.
Connor Watson, he's already off. Back here.
Well, Jack Gibson used to say, kick it to the Seagulls. Sam Walker might be kicking it for the Puddles. Collins gets the set started. 13 metres away. Tedesco off the Walker pass. And Manu v Talangi, backhanded pass. Dom Young extends the arm and goes over in the corner.
Now they've got so much talent in this team, the Roosters. You've just got to get the ball out there, and James Tedesco does a great job. Harvey Norman replay. They just use the width of the field. Sam Walker gets it to his strike players out wide. Manu, one-on-one with Blaze Talangi, and then that little flick pass to Dom Young. They're too close to the try line. The Parramatta Eels just sliding on the try line, and in this weather and the size of these athletes out wide for the Roosters, you can't be sliding on the try line.
Yeah, it's just inexperience from the young Parramatta outside backs. Neither of them have got much NRL experience, and they're up against several of the best in the game. Tedesco, Manu and Dominic Young pretty much just handled them there. Muscled their way to the in goal. The defenders got it terribly wrong, Bradley Fittler.
Yeah, on top of that, what's a dummy half pass? Out in front of him, nice and wide, chewed up some more defenders. It didn't quite create an overlap, but what it did in all that big space out there is a lot of yards. And as Billy said, they're big athletes. You don't want space around you with these blokes, Rudney, and then also with that type of skill.
He's going at nearly a try a game this year, Dom Young, after all the masses of tries he scored for Newcastle last year. Walker in the wet from touch, no worries.
The sensational sideline conversion as well for the Roosters. For number 7, Sam Walker. Proudly brought to you by Aircat. Roosters World. Parramatta Bill.
Tries in the campaign for the English international Dom Young. 12-0 to the Roosters. And a spirited cutback and some defence to match. Leniu driven back to the 10. The 2024 NRL and NRLW Telstra Premiership Grand Final is on sale right now. Make sure you're there to witness the impossible happen at Accor Stadium in Sydney on Sunday, October 6. Get your tickets right now at nrl.com/tickets. Emma, some news for us.
Yeah, it's a Category 2 HIA for Connor Watson, so he's got 15 minutes to be assessed. But just a reminder, if he fails, the Roosters can activate their 18th man because it's an active foul play. So that is Sandon Smith. Obviously, he's a much more versatile player than the 4 forwards they've got, so it could be quite handy.
Okay, thanks for that, Emma. He's lost his boot. This is not the night you want to be losing your footwear. I think you're right, Gus. I reckon there's more water on the ground than when we started.
Yeah, well, it's still raining.
Tide. Oh, Panasini, too quick. Rushed it.
The old cricket ground next door, back in the old days when it used to rain like this, it would be an absolute quagmire. Absolute quagmire. You'd be knee deep in it. It would suck your boots off. You'd run up and down the cricket pitch and you'd come out without your boots. They got sucked off by the mud. Bulleye soil, they used to call it. Don't run on the cricket pitch.
Played my first game for Australia on the SCG. And I can tell you, the cricket pitch wasn't soft.
No, it can get hard too, I can tell you. There was a famous Origin game played at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Queensland, New South Wales, in conditions a lot worse than this.
Was that the Greg Dowling one?
It was the Greg Dowling try off the post, Wally Lewis. And that was also the one where Noel Coyle tried to drop kick the ball and it went an inch.
That's right.
The ball didn't bounce.
How did Greg Dowling catch that?
No one knows. Bradley Fittler.
That was the first Origin I ever went to. My uncle Matthew drove me down. Oh. Wally Lewis also in that game. He was supposed to do a dropout. He got the attention, I think it was Gumasol, and then he booted it downfield.
Oh.
He punted it.
He punted it.
Yeah.
You're saying the grasshopper turned a blind eye then?
No, when Billy's around, we won't talk about it.
Brandon Smith now, 4 away. Parramatta, they're just hanging on here. Oh, the kick bounced off the sticks and Campbell Gillard's got it back.
It was the only thing that saved the Parramatta Eels. If it goes through, it's another Roosters try. And it was Sammy Walker from dummy half this time. We saw the spacing behind. Gutherson in the line. He just kicks.
Oh, well done.
Tilly Tupanua. He's the first to the ball if it doesn't hit the post. He's a clever little player, Sam Walker.
It was right up his alley here tonight in these conditions. Now they've got to have a dropout from the puddle.
Gutho might have to do a Wally Lewis. Oh no. He's got some leverage off the ground. Got the outcome he was looking for. It went 30 metres straight to Walker. He fires a long pass for Leniu. So the Roosters looking to move to within a couple of points of the second place Penrith with a win tonight. And numbers here for Tupou down the left wing as he's done so many times before. And he's over to score a third try.
Well, again, it was Sam Walker right from the dropout. He cleans it up on the right touch line. He fires a bullet pass to Spencer Leniu on play 1. Then he gets his legs moving and he wraps right around. Here it is here. Harvey Norman replay. Sam Walker gets the ball on the right touchline, just fires a bullet in these conditions, playing confident, and just keeps his legs moving. Sets up some plays out to the left-hand side. Everyone's in position and just creates the space. Beautiful hands by Leniu, and then Tupou. He's too big and he slides over. The Roosters, they're in again, but that's a wonderful play. Confident play by Sam Walker.
So Daniel Tupou, at one point it appeared he might be headed overseas, but he's agreed to a further extension. It will keep him at the Roosters until the end of 2026, and he's bound to become another 300 gamer for this famous club.
Well, no one scored more tries for the Roosters than Daniel Tupou. They've had some wonderful try scorers. Anthony Minicello.
It's the advantage again of having really big, strong outside backs. I mean, Dominic Young and Manu did it on the other side, and Tupou here, despite the wet and slippery conditions and the fact that he was outnumbered, he just out-muscled them. Just ran over the top of them. Kept his balance and slammed the ball down. Big outside backs, big games.
It's another bullet by Walker. It's 18-0.
One from the right-hand touchline and now one from the left-hand touchline. For number 7, Sam Walker. Rounding ball to right-hand tackle. And it's all Roosters, 18. Parramatta Devils.
Daniel Tupou, third try scorer for the Roosters already. Despite the conditions, they're nearly keeping pace with the clock. Leniu launching.
Well, it's quite extraordinary that the talent of the modern day player, I mean, it just doesn't seem that wet weather diminishes their ability to accumulate points. The kicking games are so smart, ball movements. After a little adjustment period, they've woken up to it, and now they're just rolling through Parramatta.
Sicily Tupanua, another of the Roosters, coming to the end of his time at the club. Big turnover of players coming following this season.
And I suggest what many people see as their big motivation for winning this premiership. I mean, they're into almost equal favourites with Penrith and Melbourne now. People are just looking at this roster, and after that game last night between the Panthers and Storm, and thinking, well, gee whiz, everyone can win it and everyone is beatable.
The news filtering through from Penrith today that Nathan Cleary will miss a few weeks, but they're hopeful he'll be back and they'll be able to manage that shoulder injury for the finals. Emma, sideline.
Yeah, Matt, Connor Watson has failed his HIA, and because it was an active foul play, the Roosters have activated their 18th man, that is Sandon Smith. He's warming up on the sideline, but they don't have to bring him on straight away. They can bring him on whenever they like.
All right, thank you, Emma. Dejan Arcee's kick went sizzling off the boot and pulled up promptly in the in goal.
That's confidence.
Tedesco scurrying back to his own 10.
That's real confidence. Dominic Young coming out of his in goal and finding a pass. Shows a lot of courage, that. Means you're confident.
Tedesco away to Manu, who's tackled right in the middle of the Moore Park River. Now, Leniu Greg. I think the coach will be all that pleased. They've conceded a couple of tries while he's been in the bin. Keary. From inside 40. Oh, well done, Gufferson. That skimmed out of the puddle.
Yeah, the surface is still firm. It's just the water on top. So it might just hit a little bit of a dry patch there and bounced on.
pressure there to Leniu. That was a touch of class to move direction as the ball was arriving. He evaded Manu, who shot out of the line, and then Tuolangi was tackled. Now Lane goes over the halfway. Gutherson, Brown, Cartwright on an angle, offloading as he met the defensive line. Now Gutherson away for Penasini. Tupou comes in. I think Russell was pretty keen for a ball on the outside, but Penasini held onto the footy. It goes to Arcee for a kick on play 5. Young settles underneath it. Away from Brendan Hands, but not Dylan Brown. Getting it up. Brandon Smith, now Terrell May. It's a big, strong bench, isn't it, for the Roosters? May, Tupanua, Fahu White, Tedesco punching through space. Support both sides. He ignores them both. Runs around Gutherson and scores himself.
What a champion player James Tedesco is. Always in the game, whether he's running the footy and setting up his outside men. He does it all himself here. Brandon Smith, Harvey Norman replay, gets out a dummy half and just finds himself in the right spot at the right time. Throws a little dummy and then finishes off the work. And James Tedesco has been a wonderful player for a long time. And he's playing just as good now. Down to you, Freddie.
Just have a look at all the faces of James Tedesco's supporters here. Everyone's thinking about the opportunity for a dive. Teddy throws a dummy. Angus Crichton, give me the ball. I want to dive. Come on. It's Teddy's time.
Slip and slide. Pull it out on Christmas Day and get the hose out. A bit of dishwashing detergent works well. That gets some real revs up with the soapy water.
Well, it is carving them up down the edges. They've found space on the right and left-hand side of the field. Even early in the game, they were making good yardage, and now it's turning into points.
It'll be a tough carry tonight.
And another successful conversion for the Roosters. Number 7, Sam Walker. Proudly brought to you by Airtel. Roosters 24. Parramatta.
Step on!
He's seen everything there is to see in rugby league. James Tedesco, so the conditions aren't a factor for him. It's been very effective. Points flowing freely for the third place Roosters. Just remember too, 1 and 2 receive home games for week 1 of the finals. So if they continue on here and beat Parramatta, they'll be nipping at the heels of Penrith, and maybe they'll be thinking about a game in week 1 of the finals here at Allianz, and they play this ground very well. Swaliti up against his mate Will Penasini.
Did they go to school together?
Yeah. Uh-oh. It's off ahead. Play on. White, one-handed ball. Back for Joey Manu. Keary, Tupou glued to the touchline, and it's a jumping contest. It went back into the arms of Penasini, who was waiting. Oh, Gutherson, straight through the centre of the Roosters' defence. He didn't have anyone supporting.
It seems like an age since they've had the football. And Roosters, with the first little bit of defence they've had to do, just opened up.
Gutherson first receiver there. Brown for Cartwright. Main with the tackle, assisted by Angus Crichton. Now Sean Lane. One of 4 Parramatta players to feature in all of their games so far this year. And now Tuolangi, ball back to Arcee, eventually lays boot on it. That was quite nicely done actually, and Tedesco's grounded it in the in goal.
Yeah, decided to throw caution to the wind, running the ball on the last tackle. A good little offload by Tuolangi. Bijan Arcee just weighted it correctly. Under pressure, just gets it on the left boot and forces the repeat set.
Good hands by Russell.
You see the Westpac red zone in favour of the Roosters, 7-5. The Eels have chalked up a few here.
Here's Tuolangi. 6 more tackles coming the way of Parramatta. Winamu Greg. They need a try. Try and get them in the game. They've been on the back foot right from ball 1. Dylan Brown. 4 metres away, picked up by Hands. Lane's pass missed the target. Gutherson scooped it up. It's taken a deflection from the Rooster, and there's 6 more tackles forthcoming. Now the 17 is Dan Keir, one of the rookies used this year for Parramatta. Tuolangi charges into the line and gets over.
They're going through the Roosters' defence. Parramatta, they're a very hard team to go around the Roosters. They move their defensive line well. But on this occasion, Gutherson, he just goes straight. Harvey Norman replay. And a nice, straight, powerful run by Tuolangi. Big Kelma. A little bit like Spencer Leniu, catching the ball on the advantage line. And just barging over close to the line. Then to you, Freddie.
Well, this all started down the other end. Brandon Smith was called offside by the referee. And Clint Gutherson made a break through the middle and got up towards the halfway line. It's so important if you want to play the footy down the other end in conditions like this. Your discipline's got to be perfect. You can't be making errors and giving penalties away. Defence is too easy in the rain to be ill-disciplined. And Brandon Smith didn't time it well, didn't focus, ended up being a try 1 set later.
So Tuolangi, if you remember earlier in the season, was suspended for 5 weeks. The corresponding game for a tackle on Lindsay Collins. Cause for celebration on that occasion. So Gutherson maintains the kicking duties, but he's hooked this one out left.
Unsuccessful conversion attempt for the Parramatta Eels. Roosters 24, Parramatta 4. Folks, make sure you're in your second half time for your chance to win the 200,000 Hawaiian miles. That's enough miles for 2 tickets returned from Australia to play. Roosters fans and members can also score themselves 5% off any Hawaiian Islands airline fare. Enter code Roosters24 with Leniu.
Step on!
So they're on the board at the very least, Parramatta. So they're lucky from the bench, getting their first try. Now off a Gower, driven back. Powerful defence. Lane this time. They get real grunt off this bench Tupou, White, May and Siwa Wong were named on the bench. So 4 forwards. And we know Sandon Smith has come into the game as 18th man to replace Connor Watson. So they've still got that utility value also.
Still got JWH to come back in.
To the hands. Tuolangi. A kick over the top by Blaze Tuolangi. And Tedesco under pressure. There's few better. Back next week. JWH. Mistake from Tupou in the conditions this time.
A bit of urgency for Joel Fangawi getting into the tackle and forcing the ball free. You see Joe here, the number 15. Just get some contact on the football. You can go back-to-back tries here, the Parramatta Eels. Again, I think they should be looking to go through the Roosters' defence. There's big Jared.
Stop the game. You got to move over. Stop there. Stop there.
I think that's the play, going through the Roosters, not around them.
So Gutherson's feeding the scrum as if he hasn't got enough to do. Fires it to Asi, and now Blaze Tuolangi. Leading try scorer for Parramatta this year with 11. 17th NRL game this evening. They've used 7 rookies, or debutants if you will, in Parramatta. A lot of them under Trent Barrett's tenure as interim coach following the departure of Brad Arthur. 11 metres away. Hands to the left of the ruck, and now Asi taking on the defence, but Tupou. Solid tackle in conjunction with Sam Walker. 4 plays gone. Joa Fangawi dumps the ball away to Lane. Dylan Brown, Clint Gutherson, around the back to Penasini, and he's just about kicked it to the SCG.
Yeah, a little bit heavy, that one. Couldn't find a puddle.
0 coming. Both feet.
But the Roosters had them covered up. Been an impressive first 40 minutes by the Roosters. Parramatta came here tonight with some sort of confidence after a couple of good performances, and no pressure on their football at the moment, although everything we're hearing out of Parramatta is about roster changes and players giving permission to negotiate elsewhere. It'll be a very different looking Parramatta when it lines up next year.
Yeah, the Roosters coming off the bye too, Gus. I just think it's the perfect time for a bye. 4 weeks out from finals. They've earned themselves a healthy position on the ladder. Now it's time to find your best football. I think that'll be the motivation, that'll be the focus for Trent Robinson and his coaching staff over the next 4 weeks.
Oh, inside pass, Tupou off Keary. Walker's in support. Great ball and all tackle from Gutherson. Another try saver on the tally, and there's a mistake. Well, there's that competitive edge from Clint Gutherson.
Dylan
stands up to the big forward charging at him and then forces a mistake.
They're always at you, the Roosters. You see Satili Tupanua, and he's found himself on a little bit of space on the inside of Luke Keary. They're always at you, over the advantage line, attacking your defensive line. It was only through effort from Gutherson. Put his body on the line. Ball and all tackle that one. And forces an error. But the Roosters, they got so much strike. We just spoke about their outside backs, big and athletic. So are their middle forwards and their edge forwards.
You hear all sorts of speculation around football teams these days. And one of the weirder ones, Billy, and I'm not sure what your thoughts, but Parramatta were looking to move Gutherson maybe to lock or even to hooker next year.
Well, he could play anywhere. He's just a competitor. I think his best position's fullback.
Well, we've got a captain's challenge where everyone's stripped.
He gives so much to his team, and a lot of it we don't see. And captain's challenge here.
It's an interesting one. There's obviously 3 in the
Just
tackle.
looking to determine if Nafahu White strips the ball.
Bryce Cartwright's always looking to get his arms free to unload every time he runs into a play. So it's always available and it's always a target.
Yeah, you see, I don't think that's a strip. I think he's just trying to wrap the ball up.
Yeah, 100%.
With more than one defender in the tackle, Nafahu White works the ball out. This is a penalty and the challenge is unsuccessful.
Yeah, that's a referee's interpretation and Billy gives you a footballer's interpretation. Bryce Cartwright is always dangling the ball in one arm. He's always looking for an offload. He's one of the chief offloaders in the game. Therefore, I say it's always available. Part of the defence to Bryce Cartwright is to tackle the ball. And if he can't hold on to it, that's his problem. But that's the referee's interpretation. They look at it differently.
Just hold him down. Wait.
Funny game, rugby league.
So you kept telling me.
Behind the line, keep going.
They got the last one, Parrot. And they sent us to half-time with a second. He's been good to Leniu on that left edge. Nice backhanded pass as well. Hands away to the surging Dan Keir, who's put down 21 metres away from the Roosters line. Gutherson looking for an option. He goes to Penasini. Wrapped up by Swaliti. And Brandon Smith getting over. Down inside the 10. Penasini's trying to rush and play the ball. Oh, don't lose it, Will. Gutherson. Brown, Lane, hands, dummies, comes back against the grain. 6 more tackles. It won't really matter because the time's the issue. Probably 2 plays to go before the break. They take a hit up off Hangawe. They might get 2 from here if he plays it quickly. Hands. Dejan Arce, Brown, Gutherson, Penasini. Oh, just too good, the Roosters defence. Had him covered at every exit.
Yeah, what's scoring the tries at one end is defending the tries at the other. It is too big and strong for them out wide. Look at the red, white and blue jerseys here. Plenty of jerseys in the frame as the ball gets towards the try line on the edge of the field, and they snuff them out. Very professional first 40 minutes of footy by the Roosters in difficult conditions, and they hold a commanding lead.
20 points to margin, 24-4 in outrageous conditions here at Allianz. Conditions have not been an impediment to the Roosters' attacking flair. 4 tries in the first half, just the 1 try. A barge over effort from Kelma Tuolangi for Parramatta.
Go back. You can't drive him from behind. Go back. Stop there. Let's go. Hold.
Lane playing it now. Brendan Hands. And run by Dan Keir, playing his 4th NRL game this evening. 26-year-old, was born in Canberra. He's had some encouraging moments in the 3 games he played prior to tonight. Now, Dejan Arce from his own side of 40 with a flat kick aimed towards touch. It finds the line but outside the 20.
See, they've got little corner posts on the 40-20 now.
Yeah.
It's not actually on the sideline. It's about a metre off the sideline. I asked for those 30 years ago, but they said it was impossible.
It just took a little bit of time to organise.
Yeah.
3 decades. How does it help when they're a couple of metres back from the sideline?
I can't answer you.
Maybe Freddie can. Yes, Brad.
They doubled the amount of 40-20s over the next 10 rounds. They slow down a little bit because I think wingers are getting used to people having more shots at the 40-20. But what it does do, it just gives you a target. I think eventually they should be on the sideline. They should be wide up like the ones on the corner post. But that'll happen in time. But it definitely gives you a target as a kicker.
Well, we asked for it. When we first brought the rule in, and I was on the committee that brought the rule in, we wanted a corner post on that 20-metre line, and they argued that because the corner post was in play in those days, the corner post rule hadn't changed, that it couldn't be on the sideline because it would actually be outside the field of play. If you touched it in the general course of play, you'd be out. There was a whole rule thing about it, which I said, well, just put it an inch outside the line. But they couldn't get their heads around that.
Oh, juggle, turnover. Oh, that's costly. They want a penalty for obstruction from the Roosters, but they've wasted it. Everything's looking a bit of a struggle for Parramatta so far tonight. Crichton playing it to well made.
Well, I expected better tonight because their last two performances have been really good. And they went to New Zealand and belted the Warriors, and then the other night they had Penrith beaten all ends up. Scored 34 points against them. And so anticipating tonight they would come here full of enthusiasm, trying to prove themselves to their new coach. And
that's a great shot from Crichton. And Russell went sliding along the muddy turf for about 5 metres to make it look even more spectacular.
Well, he got a stinger for his troubles, but he didn't miss.
Billy, have you seen a footballer play with this level of physicality in a season? He has belted everyone, with and without the ball. Smith's nearly through, by the way.
They're on left.
Well, this is close to professional foul territory. Yeah,
they're still on. It is.
It's a professional foul. Off you go. They'd already given 6 again, and then you come in as well.
who came up with the term professional foul? It's pretty unprofessional at the time, isn't it? I think we need to call it something else.
Deliberate foul?
Deliberate foul. There you are, we've got an answer straight away. Not professional foul, deliberate foul.
Hey!
Sounds better already. From now on, it's a deliberate foul. There you go.
We'll get those 20-metre corner posts in a bit too.
Yeah, need them tighter, need them a little bit taller.
Anything else on the checklist?
Solving a few problems tonight.
I've got a few problems up too. Do you want to go through the list?
No, we've got to get the toilet roll out. Get the toilet roll out.
Well, the way this game's going, we might.
We
Hang
may
on,
have
wait
time.
a sec. Quinn, come here. Just because you got a bloke in the bin doesn't give you a free range. That's for the team. I will go another one if it needs to be.
Oh, don't bring him down to 11, Grant. So May playing it. Brandon Smith, Walker, Tedesco, beautiful hands on, and Dominic Young, the finisher once more.
Well, even in the wet conditions, the execution was really nice because they all took their time. They didn't have much time, but they took their time. It was really well done, Billy, wasn't it?
Well, they created their time with the depth that they played. Look at the depth on both sides of the field. Harvey Norman replay. Beautiful depth, great timing, and an execution of pass. James Tedesco involved again. And the finish on Dom Young. And he scores plenty of tries, he gets plenty of practice, but the same culprits are involved. Walker, Tedesco, and then Dom Young. Oh, that's a great finish.
Doesn't miss.
Down to you, Freddie.
Well, it's like Groundhog Day in the first half. Wiremu Greg gets put in the sin bin. Dominic Young scores straight away. And now Brendan Hands gets put in the sin bin and Dominic Young scores straight away.
Well, it all come off the depth, the formation and depth from both sides of the field. Even Suoli'i and Tupou, they're back 20, 30 metres behind the play the ball, ready to run onto it.
Groundhog Day. What a great movie. Bill Murray, big Roosters fan. Bill?
Feels like my life sometimes. I wake up at 3:24 a.m. every day.
Been up a while. Walker. No goal. 3:24 a.m.
Every day, without fail.
Why? You haven't got an alarm set at 3:24, have you?
No, it's 3:20. I don't need an alarm. I just wake up. 3:24 a.m.
Did you go back to sleep?
Rarely.
Billy's been up for an hour milking the cows by then.
I used to get up at 3:24 when I was working in the stable.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore. It's called body clock.
Smith.
How much footy did you play with Brandon Smith, Billy?
Yeah, a little bit.
Walker over the top. Tupou. Well, they look bedraggled in a big way here. Parramatta, there's no organisation in their defence at all, and the Roosters are picking them off wherever they want. Crichton, Sam Walker, Terrell May, Luke Keary butts in, floats it over to Manu. Leaves Tungor behind, gets the blaze to Lungi, makes easy work of him. Now Young, Walker gets back behind the ball. They go from one sideline, they're going to try and shoot towards the other. Walker keeps it alive, back for Terrell May. And now a short pass away, Radley through, Tedesco backing up. Tedesco one hand, it's keep it alive at all costs, and Parra get it back.
Well, it was $50 if you played the ball then. No one wanted to play the football, and they created an opportunity. James Tedesco slipped over with the line in front of him. Exciting football.
Would have been try of the season.
Yeah.
That was razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, I played the last 2 years of my career with Brandon Smith. And he's a wonderful competitor. A different style of dummy half to a lot of the others.
Good tackle by him there. Driving him low on offhand Galway. Of course, when you played with him, Billy, he was more a lot, wasn't he? Back row running forward.
Well, he's still very effective playing away from that dummy half position. And he's got great leg speed. And the modern game, you get those smaller forwards. They're not little forwards, they're smaller forwards. And good leg speed. And they can be dangerous.
Oh. Did you see him as a 9, Gus?
Well, I said the other night that one of the things that's different about the Melbourne Storm is that when he was playing at the Melbourne Storm with Harry Grant, they had this double-barrel dummy half assault, one after the other, and Tappenhausen and Hughes and Munster would tap into it. Since he's been gone, it's kind of just been Hughes. It's just been Harry Grant. And I reckon it's taken a little bit away from some of the options that the Melbourne Storm have. He hasn't set the world on fire here at the Roosters because he's just a different style of dummy half. I was interested in Billy's thoughts because he's an effort player. He's a bull at a gate player. He treats his body like a Jeep. I mean, he's not kind to himself. Is there any thought into what he's doing? Is he a student of the game, or is he just a wind him up and let him go type player?
Well, probably a little bit of both, I think. He's certainly that instinctive player that when he sees space, his greatest strength is running the football. And Mike Acevo ready to come on. It'll be interesting to see where he plays and who he comes on for.
Oh, this will be interesting.
But I think you play to your strengths. And there's enough creativity around Brandon Smith in this Roosters team that they're just starting to work it out this year.
So who's... Oh, Tungor. The wingers come off.
Lost.
See, Freddie down there. The winger interchange. I thought Sevo might have played in the forwards. He warmed up as a forward. He's come on as a wing interchange replacement.
He looks pretty disappointed. Jake Tungor on the sideline. His opposition has scored 2 tries. I'm not sure if this was pre-planned, but I reckon Mike Acevo's glad he's not playing front row.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a front row. Looks like Tui Kamikamitha. He's just faster.
I don't think Tui's going to play on the wing anytime soon. Tedesco, how did he get through that? There's about 6 Parramatta defenders and he somehow manipulates his way through. Nafahu White to the 20 now. Walker over the top, no one at home, the bounce was sublime, and another glorious bit of skill by Sam Walker.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Satilli called this or Sam Walker called him, but from the time the ball was played, Walker knew Satilli was there, and just absolutely pinpoint accurate little chip kick over the top, and it was so simple. He just sees the space in behind the line. Walker goes around, he gets Satilli to come back to his inside. Harvey Norman replay, see that? Walker called him. Walker came from left to right and told Satilli stand there on the inside and virtually put it on a platter for him. I don't know whether you'll get a front-on view of Walker coming from left to right, but we've seen him do this so often this year. And Satilli just patient, ball bounced up for him nicely, but he actually put Satilli there. He ran past Satilli and said, stay here, this is yours, and just put it on a platter for him.
He summed it up well, didn't he, Gus? He identifies space as good as anyone. He sees space and then can get the ball to it. Goes from the left to the right. Satilli was his bullet. And he fired the gun right there. He went straight to Gutherson and he said, you've got to tackle me and I'm kicking to the space that you need to be in. That's a smart footy player. Down to you, Freddie.
Well, when we were doing a news cross earlier in the evening and all the Roosters players just turned up and they were all sitting there having a chat, it was before the rain came, and he was just on his own doing little grubbers, little chips. Spent about 15 minutes just on his own in his own little world.
Points the difference. The Satilli Tupou fan club in full voice. They'll have to move them over to Belmore next year, Gus. Get them a shuttle bus. So 34-4, and this is good stuff for the Roosters, because we mentioned they're going to be locked in battle with Penrith, maybe for that second position. This win will take them up within a couple of points, so they've obviously got a win to make up, but they can go on with the job here. It only helps their cause to maybe get a home final.
All eyes will be on Panthers without Nathan Cleary for the next few weeks, although their record without him is actually really strong. It's such a strong team. And Luai is so adept at wheeling the team around the paddock. But before this game tonight, the NEC Eagles were able to beat the Warriors over there at Four Pines Park and move to within a point of fourth position.
I'll tell you what is a quirky one. The Roosters and the Panthers play the exact 3 teams in the last 3 rounds.
And none of them are in the top 8.
That's right.
It's the Titans, the Raiders, and the Rabbitohs.
Is that good preparation going into a final series, Billy?
Well, it can give you some confidence. You still got to play well. They're good teams. You're going to take some beating. You're going to be physically committed to all 3 of those teams.
Penrith go down to Canberra for that game next week. It's never a road trip to be taken lightly.
Well, Manly's another team that comes into calculations. They can go into 5th position tonight with that win over the Warriors. That virtually ends the Warriors season now. They've even dropped out of the mathematical race, I think.
The rain hit Brookie with a vengeance in the second half there as well.
Well, it was 10-all at half-time. But Manly was running towards the south in the second half. It's all downhill. 14-0 the second half, running south.
Penasiti. He keeps it alive. Walker there, Crichton. And Brendan Hands missed him. Joey Manu. All the way to Siwa Wong, who's been used sparingly in the top grade this year. Just his 7th NRL appearance. Walker's been ironed out back on the halfway. Penalty.
Yeah, this is penalised due to the force. I think it was simultaneous when he kicked the football, or very close to it. You see Walker there, or just a little bit after. And a little bit of frustration creeping into the Parramatta side.
So Sandon Smith gets a run as 18th man.
Clean jersey.
Yeah.
White shorts.
Not for long.
Westpac red zone. The Eels are in front. 19 playable inside the 20.
So Wong tackled by Hands, 5 metres away. Sandon Smith, Sam Walker, Luke Keary. They do everything at pace, don't they? A third coming up for Dom Young.
Well, it's just action replay. Again, nice depth. Gave themselves plenty of time with the passing. The only one really under pressure was Manu at the end, but he's class told. And he gave Dominic Young plenty of time and space to run at the line, and then he just monstered them. Harvey Norman replay, depth, early pass, depth, early pass, quick hands pass. Now it's just Dominic Young against some tired defenders, and too good for them. It's like a training gallop, Billy, wasn't it?
Well, they would have had a little bit of time off over the last couple of weeks. The last game was against the Dolphins over in Perth, and they had the bye last week, so they play the style of football that they're playing off a bit of a freshen up. You can tell their mind's on the job here tonight. They're in some form coming into the finals. Freddie?
Yeah, and when you look at their attack, they're pretty much over 70 points clear of Melbourne, who was second. And across the park, they're dangerous across the park. Both wingers have scored tries. Their front rows scored a try. Their fullback scored a try. They're just not... Yeah, they got across the park.
The Sydney Roosters are back here at Allianz Stadium on Father's Day for a triple header event to celebrate the Steelers' Rugby charity. At our New South Wales Sunday, September 27th, police and leaders spectacular pre-game show, and a 10 class and 20% off the tickets.
What a finisher. He's become one of the premier wingers in the game now, Dominic Young. Came to Newcastle looking for a crack in the NRL after, I think it was one game maybe in the English Super League, was it? Oh dear. It's going from bad to worse. 25 tries last year for Newcastle. He's up to 19 this year for the Roosters.
Yeah, he's not finished, and he's not finished tonight. Still over 20 minutes to go. It's 38. When we saw the torrential rain before the kickoff, and there's still water lying around on this field. It hasn't drained at all.
No.
And you're thinking, well, maybe that will restrict point scoring. But the Roosters have just... Took them about 10 minutes to adjust their game. And now they're just laughing at the conditions and pretty much laughing at the Parramatta defensive line.
That's a charge. When a Fahu White built low to the ground but full of power. Played to Smith. Away to Keary. Tedesco. Double pump. Crichton. Fending off Lussick. They haven't stopped him yet. I don't know whether that held call was a little premature. He was trying to surge for the line. Smith now. Can't break away from Lussick's tackle. Crichton on the wraparound. He's thinking about a kick his ear and get Snow. Just the bullocking stuff that he's become so good at. Back to Sam Walker. Ball sent to White. Let's keep it alive at all costs stuff. Now for Siwa Wong. Off Galway with the tackle. 2 metres short. Sandon Smith dinks it through. He's offside. Yeah.
Okay, time off. We've got a captain's challenge.
They are a very despondent-looking football team at
On-field
the
ruling
moment.
of
Parramatta
offside
side.
Parramatta.
Yeah, this is a bit desperate here.
I didn't see it touch anyone else. It may have.
touch them. But is that the rule?
You know, come on.
Well, Clint Gutherson, he thinks it's right.
Will Penasini changes the position of his leg to play at the ball. Now need to just determine who the ball comes off next.
So it comes off Sandon Smith. So does that put all the Parramatta Eels on side?
The ball then contacts Sandon Smith. And this negates the offside. The challenge by Parramatta is successful.
There we go.
He's so happy, Gutho.
He was happy before the result.
He gave it to Leighton Hewitts. Come on!
Wait.
We've won something.
Oh, okay.
Down 38-4 and he's cheering a captain's challenge.
He's a competitor.
Come on!
Got to celebrate the wins.
You get the hand up there too.
Yeah. He gave it the full throttle. He was the only one, mind you. He was on his own.
Oh, Manu jamming and making solid contact.
Well, Joey Manu looked like he'd watched him train.
They have run, I reckon, 4 metres on that set. Oh, look at this. Look at Tupou pouring back. Now for Tedesco. This is a ramshackle Parramatta team now. Crichton is off the mark by about 3 metres.
Forward, go back. Second 2.
And Lindsay Collins, 15 metres away. To the centre of the ground with Walker. Keary rapping. Tedesco looking out. Steps back in against the bigger men. Offhand Galway with the tackle. Lussick coming over in cover. They're on the 10-metre line. Siwa Wong with 6 more tackles. Gets to the line. And his teammates think he might have got it down.
Okay, Wyatt. I'm going to come into tackle 1. I've signalled 6 again for 10 metres. I have a no try. Please review grounding. If no grounding, we've got a penalty.
We have an on-field ruling of offside 10 metres. And Siwa Wong knocks the ball on, fails to ground it. The on-field decision of a penalty for 10 metres will stand.
Not now, mate.
He dropped it, didn't give us a penalty.
Mate,
Same thing.
we're not at a stoppage.
It's the same thing.
Oh,
No try on that occasion, but they've got a full set of 6 to see whether they can right that wrong. Here's Nafahu White.
short, let go. Oh, wait.
Disentangles himself. Gutherson was the man there. Sandon Smith dives. 6 more tackles, can't get the try. Suali'i, 1-on-1 with Penasini, good tackle. Right under the blowtorch again here, Parramatta. Here's Wong. Oh, another 6 again. It's an avalanche. Luke Keary, James Tedesco. Talangi and Arcee combine in the defence. Walker for White. Still bombarding away with this relentless attack. The Roosters, the kick by Walker. Bounced off
Roosters
a Parramatta
first.
player, but a Rooster knock on in the
Second.
first instance.
Well, they stood tall, the Parramatta Eels.
No, it's double knock on.
Had
your
to
scrum.
defend set after set after set.
Fox on.
Another little kick by Sam Walker.
The Paris 2024 Paralympic Games start on August 28th. You can watch every medal, every moment live and free on 9 and 9 Plus you can stream over 20 live sports channels on the app 9 now. Get ready for an incredible Paralympics experience with Channel 9. Hard to go anywhere of note at the moment. They are just completely stuck at their own end, but that's going to change things. Oh, he's going to take a quick tap, Lussick. He should be in the bin. Yeah. Lussick tapped, ran it straight towards the far wide, who never got back, made the tackle, and that's pretty straightforward. RCG playing it to Lussick. Brown now on Keir. Just outside the 30. Dylan Brown attacking the defence. Crichton waiting for him. Keary also there for added assistance. And now Tuolangi bumped off Smith. One-handed pass. Finds Lussick once again. Now Keir into Keary. Tackle 4. Cartwright goes one way, flings a one-handed pass the other. Back to Keir, now off Hangawe. And they arrive at tackle 5. Dejanasi couldn't thread it through.
Yeah, it's been a feature of the Roosters' defence for many, many years. They just don't let you grub a crick through their line. They're prepared to give away 6 again. Quite often then, they'll trap it and come up with the ball anyway. But they just don't want you to grub a kick into the end goal. They're pretty good at stopping it. Still got 14 minutes to go here, and they all look like they want to bundy off and go home. At least have a shower.
Yeah, the majority of those 14 minutes they'll have to do with 12 men, the Roosters, and I think they'll see that as a real challenge. There's the next 3 games: Titans, Raiders, and the Rabbitohs to finish.
Titans, Raiders, Rabbitohs.
Mike Seabo's got the cleanest jersey of anyone. Was that his first carry of the ball?
Yeah.
Well, you've got to dip your lead to Clint Gutherson. Still going at a million miles an hour despite the scoreboard.
He's terrific, isn't he?
Some space down the right-hand side. Penasini beat Tupou. Gets to Tedesco. Collins is going to get over there and threaten to throw him over the touchline.
What's the front rower doing over there? Lindsay Collins.
He gets in all the places you don't expect from front rowers.
He's a goer, Billy, isn't he?
He's always there. He's always keeping his feet moving.
Penasini threads a pass to Russell, and Parramatta have got a try.
Nice work. Kept pumping away down that right-hand edge. Kept finding little cracks in the Roosters' defensive line, and they've scored another one. In fact, both their tries tonight have been very simple. Roosters outnumbered down there on a short blind side, and we're backpedaling as well. Harvey Norman replay. Good work. He's a good player, this kid. I like him.
Russell?
Both. Penasini, Russell.
Right.
Yeah, it was Penasini who beat his opposite man, created the 2-on-1. Haven't stopped trying the Parramatta Eels.
He's a local junior, Russell. Penasini is also. I think they might have played at the same junior club, actually. He's had some knee problems, Sean Russell, from the Rouse Hill Rhinos. Well, at least a couple of the Parramatta fans have been able to get a close-up view of a try for their team tonight. Something to cheer about. It's been a hard campaign. Gutho's last couple of kicks, if you go back to last week, haven't been all attractive, and neither is that one. Come behind closed doors as we follow our Paralympic wheelchair rugby team as they encounter the raw emotion, intense competition and personal sacrifice in their quest to qualify for the Paralympic Games. Beyond the Dream Forged in Steel premieres Monday, 8:40 on 9 and 9 Now.
He's done that a few times this year, Clint Gutherson. He just pulled the ball straight to the left, and it's usually on the long kicks.
Hey, Will.
Maybe he's a little bit worried about the distance. Could well be carrying injury, you don't know. But as soon as he's got to kick a long one, he had that one last week to square the game on full time from a long distance out. And I can remember an identical one. Was it earlier this year or late last year? He had one to either win the game or go to golden point. He did exactly the same thing, virtually from the same blade of grass. When he wants to kick the ball hard or kick it a long way, he just pulls it straight left. It's like he's not trusting his power. And if you're not goal kicking regularly, that's understandable.
Well, that's not what we're looking for as a front rower or back rower as it is. Lane trying to run it up, the dive for a pass and then hit the deck. Gutherson turns himself inside out. Oh, nice one here, the ball. He's back there again, Gutherson. Tuolangi. He's been a handful with the ball, actually, on a few occasions tonight, Tuolangi. Gutho's back for more. Goodness me, just never ever stops. That's been touched by a Rooster, and there's some room out here for Parra. Penasini. Oh, it's forward. Oh, dear.
Threw a little double pump here. Probably easily could have thrown it the first time. He was really trying to draw the defender. Clint Gutherson, gee whiz. For a bloke in a team that's beaten 38-8, he's nearly been the most competitive bloke on the field. He throws a double pump there, doesn't turn his shoulders, and the ball floats out in front. Let it go now. No.
Where do you see the Roosters, Gus? Where do they sit in your premiership list?
I think they win it. Sort of halfway through the year, I could just feel it brewing that way. I think the two top teams are Melbourne and Penrith, but even last night's game showed that they're not what they have been in previous years. They're good sides, they're the best two in this competition, but I just kind of feel that the Roosters, with this depth of talent, and the fact that Melbourne and Penrith have been up for so long, playing so many big games, and there's starting to be a little bit of wear and tear, particularly on the Panthers, that maybe this is the team on the rise come finals time, if they can improve their defence.
Anyone else coming out of the blue?
Well, it'll come down to injuries. I mean, obviously Manly have got strike power as well. Sharks, you just don't know with the Sharks. They've been there, a few years in a row and bowed out in straight sets. And they kind of look to be going that way this year, but all of a sudden they pull off a 44-0 against the Titans last week.
Yeah.
I'll be very interested to see how they go against the Knights.
Well, Trindle's on the extended bench.
Ball pulled out, Joey Manu.
Is he sort of
You fished for the ball and pulled it down,
last week of the regular season?
Yeah, a couple of weeks away.
A couple of weeks away.
Time off.
Emma, the crowd pretty good here, given it was absolutely throwing it down just before the game started.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. 20,724 is the official number, but just looking in the stands at the moment, they're all still here, despite the fact it's 38-8. So just shows how good a team is going when people don't want to get out of the car park early. They just want to stay and see how many points their team gets.
Well, people have fallen in love with live sport again. That's the thing. Sellout crowd, I think, at 4 Pines Park tonight over at Brookvale.
Yep. They've sold out most of their games this year, actually.
They have. The Warriors have sold out every game this year.
Yep.
There's been a number of sellouts. I'd imagine last night was a sellout. 10th on a Thursday night. Well, that's phenomenal, isn't it?
Over 20,000.
You can just see Trent Robinson looking to the future and giving his team an experience that they might face down the track. You've got Satili Tupanua moving into the centres. Dom Young, he's got an early mark. He's on the bench at the moment. So in the future, if they need to replace an outside back, they're getting some practice right now.
Tedesco, Tupou, Suoli'i, Manu, Young, Keary, Walker, Leniu, Smith, Collins, Crichton, Radley, Watson, Jared were here to come back. Then Tupanua. Stop me when I get the one that hasn't played rep football.
I just said hold.
Crikey.
Clint.
It's a team, isn't it?
Said hold, mate.
There's the big dog. They didn't need him tonight, but
Let's go.
they'll need him in the finals. Gets a standing ovation every time we put him on screen.
Old KR, is it? JWH. He'll fit right in there, won't he?
There'll be a handful over there.
I love him there. They're hard people with Old KR.
Yeah, he might force a few into retirement too.
Spencer.
Come on, we want another try. 74 minutes.
Tedesco, beautiful. Double tap on it. Nearly came off. They went back. So White's back in the sin bin. And Walker's kicking on the last. Tedesco after it. Tedesco versus Gutherson. Teddy's got the ball. Teddy palms away from them and he'll get the try. Will he? Sevo held him up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's effort of the year, nearly.
Held up. Out here, Parable.
Well, if he passes, they score under the post.
Well, he won't live this one down. He had a teammate on the inside, and he thought he could do it himself. But two of the big competitors of our sport, Tedesco and Gutherson. Tedesco comes out on top.
Oh.
He had Luke Keary on the inside. Oh, what an effort that is.
That?
That's brilliant. Keary was in under the post.
Emma, back to you.
Yeah, if Roosters fans are a bit worried seeing Dom Young on the bench, please don't be. I'm told it's purely precautionary. So he had a hammy issue a couple of weeks ago, and given the scoreline, they just thought they'd give him a rest and ice it up, but nothing serious for Dom Young.
Okay, thanks, Emma. Long hamstrings, those. 40-20 attempt. Doesn't have the muscle to get to the sideline, and Teddy's back there.
Billy, when you put ice on your body like that, it stings, doesn't it? It's not pleasant.
You get used to it. You have enough injuries. There'll be plenty of ice.
But would you do it if you don't need it?
No. But that's a reoccurring injury that he's had. It's something that he's staying on.
But it's not injured, so what's he icing?
He's staying on top of the inflammation. He's professional, Gus.
I think that's stupid. Why would you put ice on yourself if you're not injured? It hurts.
Parafeed. Time off. Scrum clock starts.
It's called dotting your I's and crossing your T's.
Only jumped in the ice bath out of Belmore?
No chance.
Ever been in an ice bath, Gus?
No. Too much shrinkage.
Let's go, need a lock this time. Heads down. Let's go, heads in. Heads in.
Need to get in one. 3:24 in the morning.
3:24 a.m.
Yeah, it might put me back to sleep.
Are you ready?
That'll give you a heart attack.
No, it's 10 metres. It's 10 metres. Good anyway, yep, go.
Three minutes to go.
I don't think Trent Robinson had liked him to concede another try because the 2 tries that they've scored from him have been pretty soft.
To be fair, Para haven't thrown all that much at them. Ball played by Lane. It goes to Arcee. Campbell Gillard out on that left-hand edge. 6 more tackles. Be fascinated to see how this ground comes up after all the water that copped, and then the trampling of these 2 teams tonight. It was a bit worse for wear at the start of the night.
It just hasn't drained.
No. Dejan Arcee, dummies, couldn't get past a Leniu ankle tackle. 5 metres short of the line. Lussick now scurries his way over the line, but can't get the ball down.
Good goal line defence. They're showing a bit of pride in their line here, the Roosters, which is good to see.
Come on, boys.
Minute 44 left on the clock. Last tackle.
No, 6 more tackles. Bounced straight off a Rooster leg and back to Para.
Yeah, they won't let you grab a kick through the line. They just don't. He's over the line.
Yeah, well, he got called held and he was still trying to get there.
I think he calls held too early.
Tuolangi hit hard over the top. Manu. A few stinging defensive efforts in the champion centre tonight. Through the hands from the left to the right-hand side. Gunnarsson off Brown, now Penasini. Bounced off Tupou.
Yeah, good defence. Had him covered.
Final minute. Lane running hard. Dejan Arcee. Well, he gave a pass that was an invitation for Manu to intercept. He got a hand on it, but bounced away for Sivo to pick it up. 30 seconds remaining. The Roosters trying to keep Parramatta to just the 2 tries tonight. You consider the scores that they have conceded in the 3 games leading into this evening. 24, 30 and 34 points. It's un-Rooster-like, but they aren't going to keep them from the 3rd try because Lussick has opened up a gap and scored.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed in that, really. The 3 tries tonight that Parramatta have scored, there hasn't been much in it. And Roosters, sometimes their ability to score so many points each away at their resilience in defence. Harvey Norman replay, just straight through the middle of the play the ball. Young Lussick, good little dart, but this is just a lack of concentration and communication, and they're just all in each other's way. And look at that, no one's really talking and concentrating. You'd like to think if the game was on the line that wouldn't happen. Bradley Fittler.
I wouldn't want to be Spencer Leniu at the video session either. I spoke to Trent Robinson before about the back end of the game and losing concentration and not committing to your goal line defence. That's the 3rd time in about 5 tackles Joey Lussick's tried to score. I think he gave it away early, but yeah, the coach won't be happy with that at all.
Come on, Gutho.
Come on, King.
He's got one. Convincing for the Roosters. Too classy. A sizzling first half. Not too many highlights in the second half, but they retain the Jack Gibson Cup. And another handsome win for a team that is on the charge in 2024. Roosters 38, Parramatta 14.